Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while and I apologize, but life happens, so I had to take a break. Computer shut out on me, and I'm not going to get into too much details. I want to make this video like short and quick, so let's get into it. Salmon up's not too big a deal. I would say the most important one here for the miners is hard target, because if you're sprinting, you can take less damage. And I don't know if it's the PhD augment for sliding, because I swear when I'm running through like the gas phase or the first phase for Calthairs, when she spawns in the gas, you just sprint through it. It's like you don't take damage. It says projectile damage, but I feel like the gas would be environmental damage. But I swear when I've sprinted through it, I've just not taken damage. That's without sliding. So that's a really good one to have, especially if you're getting shot at by like Oscar or something, you'll take less damage. But quick revive's a big one because of equivalent exchange. It's changed from BO6 to BO7, because in BO6, if you got downed and got yourself back up, I'm pretty sure you would lose your quick revive, so you wouldn't be able to, keep reviving yourself. But now you keep it, so it's like having 3 self-resos in your back pocket as long as you can get yourself back up. So I suggest, if you're running equivalent exchange, to always have the Jaegers, or always try and get like a ray gun or something. That way you can keep picking yourself back up. And then karmic return and swift recovery is really good to have, obviously, if you're playing like with squads. I mean, if you're gonna be reviving a lot, like, it's gonna keep you alive a lot longer. Especially like I've got a lot of revives in boss fights and whatnot, and I would take damage, and then I'll hit them with my ballistic knife, and then it'll heal me to full health, which is really clutch in most situations. So if you're playing with people, I would definitely suggest karmic return and swift recovery. I mean, slow death might be good like solo. Actually, I think I might start running that solo because it would pair with equivalent exchange. But with squads, definitely these two right here. Jug's a big one. It's also another one that got changed from BO6, because turtle shell used to not like absorb any damage to the front side if you ran turtle shell, but now it does. And turtle shell will save your fucking life so much. I know a lot of people run probiotic, and probiotic is good by any means, but turtle shell just not taking any damage, especially if you're playing solo. A good scenario of this is like when you're putting in the numbers for the rocket launch on Ashes of the Damned. You can just sit there, and as long as you have armor, you won't take any damage, so it kind of gives you like a buffer to do that, so it really helps out a lot. And then obviously hardened plates and durable plates, if you have them both. If you don't have them both, I would honestly say durable plates over hardened plates. Definitely run them both if you can. Melee macchiato. I haven't tried mocha mole yet. I kind of want to, just to test it out. I know it's not really going to do anything for my melee weapon, but it would be nice to, if I leveled up my melee, to just one hit things in a pinch if I needed to. Espresso is probably the best in my opinion. Vampiric extraction might be okay. Triple shot, I've never even used that in BO6. So stick and move is pretty nice, because if you are meleeing, you can have that increased back pedal. Plus with the stamina augment, like, you can run really fucking fast if you're meleeing and walking backwards, so that's pretty nice to pair together. Honestly, the more essence is really clutch. I think you get like 10 extra points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're doing like a melee build, it adds up pretty damn quickly. I did run mugging in BO6 for a while, and I thought it was pretty damn good. I might try it again on some builds here. Maybe mugging with the Mocha Maul, because you could just quickly, get that melee out, and then if you get a kill, then you would reload your weapon, which can keep you like essentially having unlimited ammo to some extent, so that's nice. Speed Cola is kind of your preference. I like classic formula because that's just a little bit of extra DPS. I haven't really tried Phantom Reload. I don't know how long it takes. Might be okay. Like if you're running a wonder weapon, for instance, it might be okay to reload your other weapons while you have it out. Supercharge is always a pretty good one. I haven't tried Ambo Surge yet. I don't know how good it would be. It'd make you really fast, so can't go wrong with that. But for me, I just like the classic formula. I like being able to reload quick. I hate the downtime of reloading my weapons. I like fast pitcher a lot, because you being able to throw equipment will save your life quite a bit. Quick swap's pretty good though. Can never go wrong with that. Speedy roulette, I don't know. If you're going for like the mystery box calling card, maybe that'd be a good one to run, but I don't see any point in running it. Prestidigitation, I probably said that wrong. It procs quite often, actually. If you pay attention to your ammo count, it'll keep you from using a lot of ammo, which is really clutch in a lot of situations. Vulture Aid, Armormatic, after they patched it, is actually really freaking good, and I suggest running it. It doesn't quite waste your armor like it used to. Now it's super efficient, and so if you lose your armor and then get hit one more time, it'll put a plate on automatically and just refill it, which is nice. And this pairs really nicely with the mule kick augment that I'll show you guys. And definitely extra salvage is nice, and Picket Eater is probably always going to be equipped for me because it procs quite often, and more equipment, can't go wrong with that. So I tried Condor's Reach and I didn't really notice a difference, to be honest. Plus, if you're running the Wisp T augments that I run, you don't really need Condor's Reach. And the extra essence is nice, but it's not like necessary, especially because special and elites are toned down from BO6. Death Perception, Sixth Sense, obviously. Take less damage from behind. It'll save your life, especially paired with Turtle Shell Augment from Jug. Like, they pair really nice together. I think you even take less damage to your armor from behind, so if you're taking a lot of hits from the back,
say what?
It'll keep your armor up longer, and in turn proc Turtle Shell, so you just won't take no damage for a lot longer. And then extra essence, I don't really notice a difference there. I like hidden gems, but I don't know. You could probably change the miners around. They're not that big a deal, but extra change is probably the better of them. Mini-map's not really that important. I'd probably say these three right here are the better ones to run, in my opinion. PhD, so they changed from like BO6 and BO7, you can like slide into zombies and knock them down. So like PhD slider is like not as good in my opinion, or like not as necessary. Plus they nerfed like the sliding speed and distance a fuck ton from BO6, so I really like to run Dr. Ramp because you can just knock over 4 or 5 zombies in a row and just keep sprinting, especially in boss fights and stuff. Like, it'll keep you alive because you'll just, even when you're reloading, you can knock zombies down, which is really nice. And then this is what I was talking about. If you're sliding, you're immune to environmental damage, so pretty sure you can slide through the purple rings that Caltheris throws in the last phase and not take damage, which is really nice. And then Tribologist for the further slide speed and distance. Those paired up really nicely together. I know a lot of people I've seen run Stuntman and Double Whammy, which that seems to be a pretty good combo. So, I mean, if that's what you like, run it, but this is what I run. Mule Kick. Now, originally I was running multi-pack, but I'm pretty sure multi-pack is broke, unfortunately. It's either broke or they nerfed it into the ground, because I literally played like 14 games one weekend, all got to the boss fight, and not once did multi-pack proc for me. So till they update it, I've been running pack mule because can't go wrong with more ammo. And definitely Plate Hunter is a must if you're wanting survival. Kickback is really nice. It seems to only work in like standard maps. I'm sure it works in curse mode as well, but I don't think it works in survival maps from what I've noticed. So I might actually switch that off when I'm playing survival. And then either of these are honestly pretty good. I don't really craft equipment, so I'd probably carry more equipment because that would be nice. And I think you can even hold like 3 tomahawks, which is pretty clutch, because normally I just run a tomahawk because it destroys late game. Deadshot, I would say Deadhead for sure. I used to run Dead first in BO6, but you get more out of it with Deadhead because like once you hit an enemy, you don't deal that double crit damage, so it kind of just takes away from it. Dead Again might be okay with some certain weapons with a lot of penetration, which would also pair good with the double tap augments. Dead point might be okay, but that would only be again in like certain scenarios when you're up close. I just think personally Deadhead is the best. It's like the most consistent of them. Definitely want Dead Break, and really like the second one is kind of just up to you. I would run Dead Break, and then I don't know if you want to run one of these two, probably not a bad idea. Like they're all just kind of utility in a way, but I think the reduced hip fire spread is probably the best, especially if you're running like an akimbo weapon or whatnot. Helps out quite a bit. So double tap's a big one. You can kind of switch these around depending on what weapon you're using though. I know a lot of people like double standard because the non-crits do double damage, but you get so much out of the double dealer because every fourth shot, regardless if it's, you know, to the chest or to their head or whatever crit spot have you, and a boss fight or whatnot, it's gonna do double damage. So I know like the maxed out Kimbo Jaegers, they do like pack 3 and legendary, they'll do like 5,000 damage regularly, and then on the fourth shot they'll do like 10,000 damage. So you can just chunk down Calthairs like nothing. Especially if you pop like Free Fire or Frenzy Fire, you'll just do a hell of a lot of DPS with any gun, really. It doesn't matter what it is. But I know for shotguns, double impact is really, really good too. So if you're running a shotgun or planning on running a shotgun, you might try double impact and see how it works for you. But both of these are really good. Double standard's not bad, but I just think you get way more out of double dealer. And I don't think double jeopardy's any good, because if they're already about to die anyways, like, what's one more bullet? I would say double caliber and double time are definitely like the best miners to run. Double play isn't too bad, but again, it's random as compared to consistently having more fire rate and increased penetration. If you weren't running like a semi-automatic weapon, or I guess if you are running a semi-automatic weapon, you could probably switch off on that if you really wanted to, but it does help like the Jaegers and stuff still. So I mean, I think personally double time is kind of a must to have. That's just more DPS, and more DPS can save your life or save your run. Elemental pop's kind of your preference. I've been camo grinding, so I've been running citrus focus. I think I kind of want to try rainbow pop at some point after I finish the rest of my guns, but citrus focus for sure if you're camo grinding, because a lot of the special camos call for certain ammo mods to proc and get kills with them, so that'll speed up the time to do that by quite a bit. Reduce cooldown and increased weapon damage, or elemental weakness damage, I guess, is probably the best there. Pineapple blast is okay, but most equipment just kills them anyways, so there's no reason to have it. Might come in handy in some cases though. Refreshment with rainbow pop might be a pretty good combo. And I did run electric cherry like the entirety of BO6, and I think it's really good still. I might switch back to electric cherry if I don't like rainbow pop, but what I've seen and heard is that electric cherry just doesn't do like near as much damage anymore, but it still stuns, so you can't go wrong with that. It would still help in a lot of situations. Wisp Tea again is kind of your preference. I like to have the healing mask. I know a lot of people like to do the demon. If you're running equivalent exchange though, stay away from Mask of Salvation, because it'll revive you before you can get up, and then you'll just lose your perks, and it'll just be a waste. Mask of Distraction, it's interesting, but I don't really care for it, I guess. It takes forever. I mean, Wisp Tea in general, I feel like takes a while to come out, even with increased cooldown. And I really like to run Fetcher with haste, which, again, Fetcher with the Vulture Aid augment that picks stuff up is really handy to have. And especially the Armormatic augment with Fetcher, because it'll fetch like armor for you, and it'll automatically put it on for you, and you won't have to, you know, do that. So they pair really nicely together. That's pretty much it for the perks. There's only a few like big ones that I would really say like are a must, and that's Quick Revive Jug, and then the Miner on Stamina. PhD's really good. Mule Kick. Double tap's a really big one for like damage output. You can just kind of mess around and see what you like there on most of them. Ammo mods, kind of the same thing. A lot of these are gonna be weird for me because I've been camo grinding, like I said, but the ball lightning is pretty cool. Been running that. Lightning strike is always a good one. Big game if you really want to just stun elite enemies. That'd be handy in a lot of cases, but I mean, the only elites we have in the game right now is Oscar, the Bear, and the Mecha Klaus. So I don't even think any of them are weak to dead wire, so there's no sense in really running that. It would proc from your elemental pop though, so I mean, I guess there's that. Chain lightning is pretty good, but I mean, it kind of just overlaps with aftershock. I guess it would give it more of a chance to spread, so that's cool. I like ball lightning with the aftershock because it'll spread quite a bit, and then increase stun and electric field, which is nice. You could run the increased cooldown, but I have the decreased cooldown on elemental pop, so I just think it would overlap there. There's no sense really needing it. And elemental pop procs your ammo mods pretty frequently, so. Or you could go more damage. Like, most of the ammo mods are kind of just your preference. Napalm burst. Enemies explode on death and spread fire to enemies. This is a good one, especially for the camos, because you'll get more kills that way. Can never go wrong with more damage though. And I haven't tried petroleum, but it sounds kind of cool. Like incendiary with petroleum might be a good combo to run, and I'm thinking about it, because it would pool lava would sit on the ground, which would let more enemies take damage that way. But getting as much fire damage on the enemies as possible is probably like best thing you could do. And then more activation radius, of course, just for again taking out more zombies at once, which I think is the best combo there. Cryo freeze, I kind of mess around with it. I really like ice cloud. That's what I ran on BO6. I tried out cold company for a while. I didn't really notice too big of a difference. Maybe it freezes more zombies, and so they take a little bit more damage in like groups, but that'd be about it there. Increased damage to frozen enemies, of course. Can never go wrong with more damage. I guess I have increased cooldown for this, but I think that's just because keeping cryo freeze active as long as possible to increase your damage output is probably the best bet there. Fireworks, fire wheel for like hordes. Big game might be okay. I think there's a glitch calling card where you need to actually kill an elite enemy with it, so it might be the best bet there for sure. But I've just been running fire wheel because it'll just absolutely like dominate a horde and increase area of effect and increase cooldown, just because I think fireworks takes quite a while to proc. So, but if you were going for that calling card, I'd say big game, and then I think you're supposed to run starlight, and then I'd say big bang probably just for that specific calling card. For horde clear, this setup right here is probably the best. Brain rot, I can't remember what relic it is. I think it's the bus relic where you have to use brain rot specifically to get all your kills on curse mode for Ashes of the Damned. And I think caustic fumes with increased cooldown and increased damage, which you could probably switch one of these two for duration as well. The explosive, it's nice, but I don't think it's necessary, especially with the toxic damage, because it'll just take out entire hordes with them running through it. So Shadow Rift, I don't really care much for it. I've just been running explosive rain. That's what I ran on BO6, I'm pretty sure. Gravity Well might be pretty cool, but I just don't run Shadow Rift enough to care about it. Increased cooldown stacks with elemental pop, like I said, so I mean, it procs quite often. The lethal radius and more damage is really nice. That's what I would run there. This might actually be cool now that I'm seeing it. Like, I didn't even touch Shadow Rift, but if it procs and you're like low on ammo and it reloads your gun, that would be kind of cool. Light mid is actually, it got some really cool augments in BO7. I really like the overcharge health, because it actually gives you more health than probiotic if you can get it. So light mid is actually pretty good in BO7. You run extra strength for more health, and then chance to create an extra glyph is pretty nice. It can come in clutch in some situations, especially in like the higher rounds, because that can proc and then it'll heal you, and then it can save your life, especially if you run out of armor. Might run light mid more on some guns, because it's actually pretty good in this game. Shatter Blast, it's really good, especially against Keltheris. I like the blast repair, because getting your armor back is clutch as hell. It's always nice. Blast Shield might be okay. I don't know how long it like lasts though. I don't think I've tried it yet. Increased explosion size, increased explosion damage, and I think Blast Through is the one you actually need to do like way more damage to Keltheris' armor. I think that's the one most people run, so I'm actually going to switch that. So more damage and then more damage through armor. Probably why I wasn't doing as much damage as I should have been in my Easter egg runs. But that's it for ammo mods. Field upgrades, there's only like a few big ones. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Frenzy guard, this is definitely the setup you want. Frenzy fire extension, dual layer. If you're playing with a squad and you're not doing Easter eggs, maybe run rally, but the dual layer with extension is going to save your life almost every single time, so there's no reason not to run it. I'll slowly go over my other ones. These ones don't really matter to me. I don't ever use these. I only use Frenzy Guard, and pretty much I run Aether Shroud for Ashes of the Damned, and then Frenzied Guard for Astra. Hezel Storm, I don't even think I've used that. Dark Flare, I have used it, but kind of just to troll and to do like calling card challenges. Frost Blast is always one of my favorites. I haven't actually used it though since I put Stone Cold Stronghold on, but sure, it's pretty good. Toxic Growth, it kind of got nerfed with plants getting nerfed, so I haven't really ran it all that much, but I really like this setup where it deals toxic damage. And then I was running the plant food, which was really cool. I really like that a lot, but I switched it off for more health so it stays out longer and then an extra charge. Healing Aura, I think the resurrection one, Necromancer, is broken, so that's why I haven't used that, but don't really use it that much. So, and then I haven't even used Mr. Peaks in BO7, but I think the healing would be nice, and then extra duration, and then discount on ammo. Aether Shroud though, you can kind of switch the major around just as needed. The warp, I don't know, don't really care for the warp, but Void Sheath and Group Shroud's probably the better of the two. If you're playing with other people, then Group Shroud. After Image is kind of cool though, I just kept it on that. But definitely Extension, and I would run Extra Charge instead of Impulse. That's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to go over my augments because a lot of people were asking me about them, and I figured it'd be kind of quick. I've been rambling a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.